and gentlemen, I'm back again. And today, we're going to write your argument. So, our goal in the overall essay is to explain the current event, your summary, and argue for how important it is or will be in the future. That's my cat, Figment. Everybody say hi, Figment. So, in the first paragraph, which was the intro, which we looked at last week, we gave an overview of everything. In the second paragraph, we wrote 5 sentences that summarized the current event. Now we are working on the third section, the argument for how important it is. If you were to look at a graphic organizer, it would be this part right here. So, in the third section, or our argument, we have to the paragraph has to contain the length of the impact your current event will have. Will the travel ban from President Trump matter for only a few weeks? Will it matter for only a few years? Will it matter forever? In my paper, I'm going to choose a position and I'm going to argue what I think. Your current event will be different, but you're still going to argue what you think or for how long you think it will matter. Will this matter to people in the short term, weeks or months? Will it matter in the medium, 1 to 2 years? Or will this a long-term thing that is affecting how people live in 5 to 10 years? In your argument section, you're going to explain why the impact will be this long. Give us reasons. Write out some evidence to support your opinion. You can throw in some quotes from your source article if you want to back up your claims. The argument in section 3 should match your thesis from your introduction, which was the last sentence in your paragraph introduction. If your thesis sentence in your introduction said that your current event would affect plants and animals in a long-term way, then in the third section of your essay, you should explain what the effect on plants will be for 5 to 10 years, and then what it'll be on the animals in the long term too. So here's my example. Last time we looked at my paper, my example, my thesis was, though this measure seems extreme, the effects on travel, the economy, and the people will resolve by 2021. That was my thesis. So after my summary, I then am going to argue that this is a short-term impact, my current event, and I'm going to say why. For example, the most immediate effect the ban on European travel into the United States will have is on the travel industry. People will cancel their tickets and the companies will lose money. Even if they do not cancel and only reschedule, it will take many months for regular movement to resume. However, by 2021, people will be anxious to resume normal activities, so the level of travel from Europe will return to normal levels. So I've said it's impacting travel for 1 year. And this is why I think so. Could someone argue with me? Yes. That's why this is called an argument. It's not a fact. I'm guessing. I'm giving my opinion. So in Mrs. Rohling's example paper, I would then continue on to new paragraphs where I talk about the effect on the economy, because I mentioned it in my thesis, and people. So this is diagramming it. It's the same paragraph argument, but I've said it's impacting travel. This is how it's impacting travel, how I think it will impact travel, and for how long. If you choose a different current event, you'll tell us this current event will impact this group, this is how, and for how long. In Mrs. Rohling's example, I suspect my essay would have another 2 paragraphs of argument to address the parts I mentioned in my thesis, economy, and people. So, submissions. Hopefully you're figuring out how to submit these on Canvas. I cannot tell if you've worked on your essay unless you submit it into Canvas or unless you email me. Something I'm noticing, be careful about what you're submitting. Sometimes we're assuming we know what we're doing and we've got it wrong. So pay careful attention to any instructions given on Canvas. That should be for all your classes, guys. I've been making comments on the essays I've seen so far. If you have comments on your essay or your introduction that you submitted, make changes that I suggest before the final draft so you can get the highest test score possible. And so I would say, guys, at this point, now go give it a try on your Google Doc. Write out your argument. This will be affecting aliens. Give us some reasons how it'll affect aliens and for how long, short, medium, or long term. And it's this section right here. We've done the introduction, the summary, and now your argument. How long is it going to impact? What groups is it going to impact? And how do you think it's going to impact those groups in the future? If you have questions, let me know. I'm here for you, and good luck.